Jeff, is just wondering what your reaction to all of this is when we're really getting our first full day of testimony with one of the key witnesses for the prosecution in this case.
Yeah, Jose, I think the prosecution will be very meticulous with this witness, and it's clear that Pecker and Trump have a history, and it's not clear at this point what will come out about that history, but it's interesting that Pecker was paying Trump money, and it also shows that Trump trusts Pecker. And so when Trump goes to Pecker, and this testimony will come out about covering up various sordid issues that he thinks will interfere with the election, Pecker is somebody he could count on. And so we will see what will develop in the testimony. I cannot imagine it will end today and probably will go on till tomorrow.
Yeah, and so what about this whole gag order and the issues that have been brought up to the court this morning? The judge apparently hasn't ruled on that, but how do you see that?
Well, it's interesting, Jose. Every judge I have spoken to has said they would not lock Trump up. Judges are very reluctant to do that, but he will reach a point where if Trump continues to violate the gag order, and it certainly appears that he did violate the gag order, he will have to do something. And as Chuck Rosenberg said earlier, you know, sequestering the jury is a very difficult thing because it really is harmful to a juror. And sometimes it facilitates a quicker verdict because the jurors just want to go home. And so Merchant will have to do something to stop this. Trump appears to be baiting him and almost wants to be locked up. And, you know, it's something he could try to use in his campaign. But there has to be a resolution.
Jeff, do you think that between Trump's demeanor inside and outside of the courtroom, is he helping or hurting himself? And I guess the question is, there may be two different audiences, the legal audience and then his political audience.
Well, it's not clear he's hurting himself inside the courtroom other than alienating the judge, because the jurors are not supposed to be watching media or, you know, reading magazines or newspapers. So allegedly they haven't heard any of this. But what he's doing is alienating a judge who will sentence him if he's convicted. And if you're trying to play the ref or you're trying to play the umpire here, umpires and refs throw people out of the game. Here they cannot do that because the judge has to allow Trump to appear for trial. Although there are instances where people have been held in contempt and banned from the courtroom, it would be very unlikely for that to happen here.
And if I could, Jeff, bring it back to my only sports knowledge that I could use, soccer, you know, there is the possibility of the judge to use a yellow card or a red card. But those are kind of two different instances that have far different repercussions.
Well, right, because a judge in soccer could throw a player out of the game. And so can an umpire in baseball, and so can a referee in basketball. And frequently, you know, if we're going to use the sport analogy, you know, players try to play the referee and try to get better calls along the way. That will not happen with Judge Merchant. And it's clear he already said that Trump's attorneys have lost credibility with him, and he will not be biased in any fashion by Trump playing, you know, any sports analogy that we've been using.
Von Hillard and Jeff Jacobowitz, thank you both so very much.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.